Hi, everyone. This is Elle Rodriguez, and welcome to my very new podcast called Let's Talk It Out. In my podcast, we will be speaking in English, both in English and Tagalog. And what is my podcast about? We will be discussing anything under the sun. So, kung ano yung interesting sa inyo, something that will help you in anything that may be an issue for you. So literally anything pwede nating pag-usapan dito po sa aking podcast. Now for today, my pilot episode, I have two guests. Before I introduce them to you, let me just let you know what we will be discussing. So the title of our episode for today is Hoy Gising. In English, Wakey Wakey. You'll know why it's called Hoy Gising once you listen to my two guests. They will share their experiences with you, and yung experience po nila is something that will help you. I'm sure a lot of you have experienced what they have experienced. Some of you may still be undergoing some issues in your life na hindi nyo alam kung paano i-resolve. So, eto na po tayo ngayon. Pag-uusapan natin itong topic na to. Hindi ko muna i-reveal ko ano. Pag-uusapan na po natin pagpasok ng guests natin. Okay? So, let me first introduce my first guest. She is, ilagay natin na lang na siya ang niloko. Okay? Her name is Tema Arts. Ang niloko or ang naloko. Explain namin sa inyo mamaya what that means. So let's just bring her in first. Hello, Tema Arts. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just told the audience that you are, ang introduction ko sa'yo, ikaw yung naloko. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hindi ko pa nire-reveal ko ano talagang topic natin. Sabi ko lang, ang title ng ating show is Hoy Gising. In English, Wakey Wakey. Okay. So, this is our first guest. Now, let's bring in, syempre, kung may naloko, may nanloloko, right? So, let's bring in ang manloloko. Maxine. Hi, Maxine. How are you today?
Hello, good. You?
Oh, good, good. Okay. I was telling Tema Arts here that I did not reveal to the audience what we will be discussing for today. Ang sinabi
Okay.
ko lang, dalawang guests natin, isang naloko at isang manloloko. Ikaw yon. Si Maxine. As you can see, nga pala, it's June and I believe this is the Pride Month, right?
Pride Month.
Kaya ito, ang guest po natin is LGBTQ, ABCDE, hindi, LGBTQ, si Maxine, at LGBTQ, hindi pala, hindi, girl, yung G, girl,
Girl.
Thank you.
no. Okay, now, for my audience, makinig po kayo sa kanilang mga storya because it may be personal for them, but I'm sure makaka-relate, marami sa inyo makaka-relate sa kanila. And marami tayong malalaman. I'm really, really happy that they agreed na mag-guest kasi they're willing to explain their side, yung naramdaman nila, bakit sila ganon, bakit yun ang ginawa nila. So, umpisahan na natin. Okay. Ang topic natin, sabi ko, ay Hoy Gising, right? Why? Because in this episode, at the end of this episode, marirealize ninyo, lalo na yung mga tao dyan na medyo broken-hearted ngayon, you're in a relationship, in a very toxic relationship, niloloko kayo ng partner nyo, your partner's cheating on you or whatever. After you finish watching this episode, marirealize ninyo na dapat na kayong magising sa katotohanan that you have to move on. Okay? So, let's start. Mag-umpisa tayo sa naloko. Tema Arts, can you just share with us your experience na traumatic para sa iyo that alam ko na yung pinagdaanan mo talaga nahirapan. Kasi kwento mo na sa amin. And you can speak Taglish if you want.
Okay. So I've learned my ex living partner was cheating on me on his birthday. And then hindi ko pa ma-figure out who the girl was. And then a month later, after ng birthday niya, birthday ko naman, doon ko na-realize who the girl was. But then even na alam ko na nag-cheat siya sa akin, I still tried to make our relationship work kasi we have kids together. And then after that, I told myself I'll give him a year para maghintay ako to see if we're gonna get back together or what before I can actually move on. So that way I could say sa mga bata na, I tried, but we're not meant to be together. So I'm moving on. So that's how I
Yun ang story mo. Ngayon, before we move on to Maxine, I just wanted to ask you, you said you have kids together. How many?
Actually, we have two, pero yung sa aming dalawa, isa lang. He prior sa relationship namin, sa first wife niya. But I consider her as mine kasi we were together for a while. Tapos yung bata, halos lumaki na sa akin. So I took her and she stays with us. So I took her as my own.
Wow. Alam mo, so apart from girlfriend ka niya, stepmom ka nung anak niya, ikaw nagpalaki dun. Ilang taon yung bata nung naging, nung sumama sa inyo?
She was 8. She was almost 8 then.
Okay, so bata pa. And how long were you together with this, your husband, ex-boyfriend, right?
7, almost 8 years.
Live-in partner. Now, prior to 8 years, were you like, na hindi kayo nag-live-in? Gaano kayo katagal ng boyfriend? Or lahat na yun?
6 months bago kami nag-stay.
Okay. Okay, so just so we're clear, nag-live-in kayo, sa relationship niya for the 8 years that you were together, kailan mo nalaman? So the 7th year, right?
Yeah.
The 7th year itch.
I guess.
Right?
Every time. Yeah.
Okay. And ano yung indication na sa'yo na gaano mo ka nakatagal nalaman or nafe-feel, first of all, did you ever feel na he was cheating on you? Before you found out? Wala? No signs?
Before na nalaman ko, walang indication na this guy is doing something. Wala talaga. Pero the moment like parang 2 weeks prior na nalaman ko, he was laughing with somebody sa text. Nakala mo kinikilite. Like yung ngiti.
Was a week before?
It was a week or 2 weeks prior. So sabi ko, what the heck? Sabi ko, who you texting with? Sabi ko, para ka dyang high school na kinikilite or something. So, and then he was telling me, me and Mike, the way we joke around, para kaming mga babae.
Also sabi niya lalaki ang kausap.
So ako naman, never thought na he would do such thing. So it's like, I didn't bother asking for more information. And that's it.
And then the next week, you found out?
And then yun na yun, yung birthday niya, I was taking some classes. So from after class, I decided to drop by sa work niya to bring him some food kasi birthday niya, and we never talk about what to do for dinner or something. Sabi ko, surprise ko na lang siya to bring something. So I went to the office. Wala na siya.
Ito na surprise.
Yeah, I've been texting. Walang reply. And then midnight, wala pa siya sa bahay. Nothing. Walang text.
Wow. On his birthday.
On his birthday. So I started to like, what the heck? It's like, bakit hindi sumasagot? Or I don't know what's happening. Baka na-disgrasya na or something,
Yeah.
And then from that moment, sabi ko, who the heck is he? Nag-check ako ng phone bill namin. So I checked, and there's this one phone number naka-text niya more than he texting me. Sabi ko, who the heck is this person? Tapos, ano na ako, like, I started being like paranoid.
Did you not check his phone number kung anong pangalan nandun sa phone niya? I mean, his phone.
Hindi pa.
Ha?
Hindi pa. Nung dumating pa lang siya sa bahay, doon ko chinek. Tapos, walang name ng girl. Walang name ng girl.
So, number lang.
Number lang. Tapos, nakasulat sa name is as Art. A-R-T. Art.
Art.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Art! Hindi ba ikaw yun?
Hindi ako yun.
Okay, so dumating siya 12 ng birthday niya?
After 12, before he even got home, nagte-text na ako, nagagalit na ako. I was like, who are you with? Who the F are you with? Why aren't you asking? Who is this person you've been texting? Ganun na ako.
Okay.
He got home drunk. Tapos, basta glasing siya, dinap off siya nung tao, I think. Tapos, chinek ko yung phone niya, and it says, oh, I hope you're not in trouble. I love you.
Wow!
Oh, wow.
How did you feel?
Yung
I'm
feeling
sorry,
na binuksan ng lamig na tubig na nanginginig ka.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What's that?
Hindi, I was just asking how you felt. So ganon, parang, I feel
Ganon
you.
yun. Like parang binuksan ng tubig, ng malamig, tapos nanginginig ka,
Yeah.
pero alam mo na yung isa, there's no point of talking to you.
So, di ba yung parang nagpa-palpitate ka, na parang nanlalamig ka na, I can't believe this is happening to me. Ganon?
Yeah. Kasi talaga never thought of na mangyayari yun eh. Tapos
After
yun
all
na,
those years.
the next morning, nag-usap na kami. Sabi ko, hey, who is this person? Tapos, sabi ko, you have to choose. Do you choose, who are you gonna choose? Siya o kami? And ang sagot niya sa akin is, I have to think it through.
Ouch.
I have to think it through.
I
So
know.
I'm like,
Okay. You know what? I know if initial reaction natin, ouch, right?
yes.
At that point, I'm sure galit na galit ka na, you really said that to me, right?
Yes.
Really? You're gonna think about it.
Oh my God.
Right?
Parang, tapos yung level ng self-esteem mo or self-confidence mo, from here,
Yeah.
Went down.
I know. So I'm thinking, but you know what? Sa totoo lang, think about it now. It's a good thing, somehow, it's a good thing he admitted, right? That
yes.
he needed to think about it. Other men would have just said, what are you talking about? And deny it to death. Because let me just, before we go to Maxine, mag-ready ka na, Maxine, kasi you may not be a man, but you're on that end of the situation, right? Kumbaga, you're on the other side of the podium here. So, mag-ready ka na sa sagot mo sa aming mga tanong namin sa mga lalaki and sa mga, guys,
LGBT.
out there, mga audience natin, right? We're talking about relationships, not just between a man and a woman, but also between gay people, lesbian, like I said, including LGBTQ, because nagkataon lang that our guest is, itong si Tem Arts, is a woman who had a relationship with a cheating husband or a cheating partner who was a man, right? But we have Maxine here, who's on the other side of the spectrum. So siya ngayon yung sasagot nung mga katanungan natin sa not just opposite sex, but dun sa partner na nire-represent nung side nila. Ganun. So, it encompasses all genders. So ngayon, so si Tem Arts, okay, meron din akong kakilala, right? Itago na natin siya sa pangalang Ginger. Itong si Ginger, okay, meron siyang relationship with Wally. Itong si Wally tomboy. Okay? So gay to, gay relationship. Etong gay, ngayon si Wally, niligawan si Ginger. Tapos si Ginger noong una ayaw niya. Kasi si Ginger came from a relationship with a man. She was married. And then they divorced, and for 4 years she was divorced. Biglang nanligaw tong si Wally sa kanya. Na tomboy, di parang wala lang sa kanya, parang kaso naawa siya kay Wally kasi inikwento ni Wally sa kanya at that time, and tandaan niyo to, at that time, itong pagkakamali ni Ginger, at that time na nanligaw si Wally sa kanya, meron siyang girlfriend, si Diga. Ngayon, tong si Diga, ang kwento, babae to, oo, syempre. Hindi lalaki, dahil tomboy nga si Wally. Maxine, makinig. Okay, huwag ka malito. So ngayon, itong si Diga, kinikwento ni Wally na si Diga, hindi siya pinagpapapansin. 2 taon na daw sila halos, pero hindi siya pinapansin. Pagkasama niya, magpa-party sila, iiwan siya sa isang tabi. Ganon. Tapos, pero kung magpabili, ganon-ganon na lang. Kung nagkanda baon-baon sa utang si Wally, para lang bigay ang luho ni Diga. Right? Ngayon si Diga, dead ma lang. So naniwala naman itong si Ginger kasi gabi-gabi kausap niya itong si Wally. Actually, all throughout the day. So naisip at sabi niya, ang kwento nitong si Wally, relationship ba yon? Hindi nga ako pinapansin, hindi ako ganun. So naawa ngayon si Ginger, parang nga no, parang nabaitan siya kay Wally, sabi niya, I think ako yung magsisave kay Wally dun sa tao na yon. Pero si Ginger, meron pa rin siyang respeto dun sa relationship ni Wally tsaka ni Digo. Sinabi niya sa Wally na bago mo tutuhanin to, ganun, bakit ito sagutin, whatever, tapusin mo muna yan. Siguraduhin mo sinong gusto mo. Kasi apart from Diga, meron pa siyang isang babae, si Juday. Hindi nga, oo, 2 yon. Okay? Kasi kinikwento pa siya na may lumalandi pa sa kanya, si Lamas. Si Lamas, ang tawag din sa Lamas kasi ang kwento ni Wally, pag nakikita sila, parang niloloko siya na, lamasin mo na yung ko. Yung gano'n, nilalandi siya baga. So ganun ang kwento ni Wally. Yeah. Seriously. Yun ang kwento ni Wally kay Ginger. Si Ginger naawa. So, nung inispitan ngayon ni Wally si Diga, and I know, sasabihin niyo, sigurado ba siya? Sabi ni Ginger, nabasa niya yung text ni Wally, pinakita sa kanya. Ang sagot naman ni Diga, okay. Para kung saan ka masaya, dead ma lang, ganon. Kinausap pa niya, nag-usap pa sila, tapos tinapos niya na in person. Yon. Guess what? Mali si Ginger. Ang unang pagkakamali ni Ginger,
Naniwala siya. Yan.
Hindi. Hindi niya naisip. Niligawan siya, 'di ba? Inaraw-araw siya, pero may relationship pa siya kay Diga. Right? Hindi niya naisip 'yon eh. Kung talagang matinutong si Wally, tapusin na muna niya si Diga bago man lang siya pumasok sa, 'di ba?
That's true.
'Di ba? Oh. Hindi ngayon naisip ang naisip kasi nag-focus si Ginger sa ay nakakaawa naman tong si Wally. Oo. Hindi ako ganyan. Ano no?
Okay, go on.
Yun, di ba? Anyway, to make the long story short, itong si Diga, nung nakita niya, laman niya na magli-live-in na, mag-move in na, sinagot ni Ginger si Wally, nung nalaman ni Diga na mag-aano siya, magli-live-in yung dalawa, naghabol ngayon si Diga. Nanggulo talaga, as in nanggulo. Talagang tinatawagan niya na love ang tawagan nila, love, pakipagkita sa akin, love, ganon. And itong si Wally, mahina, or I don't know, I really don't know, yung tomboy na yon, ang ginawa niya, nakipagkita siya, hinotel niya si Diga habang sila ni Ginger. Naramdaman ni Ginger yon. Pinuntahan niya sa hotel. Nakita niya yung kotse ni Wally at ni Diga magkatabi sa harap ng hotel. She was devastated. Like you said, Tema Arts, ang naramdaman niya, nanlamig siya. Diba? Ako naramdaman ko na rin yun dahil nangyari na rin sa akin before. Yung hindi mo alam gagawin mo na parang gusto mo magwala, gusto mo, it's like pulling
Right.
your hair and you don't know what to do. And then, naisip ni Ginger, I'm a professional though. I will not let these two people ruin my reputation, drag me down with them to mud with them, to the mud with them. Kasi they're trash. What they did to her was very trashy, was very, really bad, right? And then naisip niya, normally, di ba, para magwawala ka eh. Buti na control ni Ginger yung sarili niya, naisip niya muna yung profession niya kasi professional siya. Pinabayaan niya. Ang ginawa na lang niya, naghanap siya ng evidence pa. Right? Although that's evidence enough. I mean, what else do you need, right? Ang problema ni Ginger, I know people will say, bakit right there and then hindi yung ispitan? Kasi nagpirma siya, nag-sign siya ng lease with Wally na mag-live-in nga na sila sa apartment, di ba? Hindi niya alam gagawin niya. So at that point, tuliro yung tao. Wala siya nagawa. And ang explanation niya sa akin, ang feeling niya, para siya naka-straight jacket, tapos binubugbog siya ng dalawa. Hindi siya makalaban kasi kailangan niya ng bahay eh. Nakatira siya doon eh. Tapos ginaganon siya. Alam mo ginagawa ng Wally sa kanya? Iniiwan, simula nung nahuli niya, tapos nabugi na sila sa apartment nila, iniiwan-iwan siya nung lalaki, nung tomboy, at sumasama kay Diga. At araw-araw, kausap nun si Diga sa telepono, kunyari kaibigan niya o opisina, ginagawa siyang tanga pero alam niyang yon. Nakakuha na siya ng proof, etc. For 1 month, ginawa sa kanya yun ng dalawa. Tapos dumating na sa point na gusto na niyang tumalas na balkonahe para lang ipakita dun sa dalawa na itong ginagawa niyo sa akin. Hindi niya maintindihan bakit niyo ginagawa sa akin to. Pwede naman sabihin niya ni Wally sa kanya na ayoko na sa'yo.
Right.
Itong gusto ko. Hindi niya ginagawa. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa'yo, Tema Arts. Ikaw, tinanggap nung partner mo yung pagkakamali niya.
Right.
Agad.
Yeah.
Ang kawawang Ginger, ang ginawa ni Wally tsaka ni Diga sa kanya, pinaglaruan siya for a month. Dinideny ni Wally. Eh alam niya, matalinong tao si Ginger, hindi lang makagalaw kasi hindi alam ang gagawin. Tuliro siya. So ngayon, ang ginawa ni Ginger, dumating na sa point na talagang there was a time na nawala ng 3 araw, mawawala daw ng 3 araw si Wally. Right? Alam mo ginawa ni Ginger? Nung sinabi ni Wally na, aalis ako ng linggo, babalik ako ng Tuesday. Alam na niya mag-outing yung dalawa. Dahil nag-outing sila, nag-outing si Ginger tsaka si Wally the week before, and he cut it short. She cut it short. Sabado, nag-overnight sila sa resort. The next day, 2:30, may inimit daw siyang kaibigan. Di ba kayo, pag nag-outing kayo, sagaran yun eh. Pag the next day, mag-enjoy na kayo, di ba? Siya hindi. At ang alam ni Ginger, imimit niya na si Diga. Hindi siya makagalaw. Hindi siya makakibuong, kundi umiyak pag hinatid siya sa apartment nila, nakipagkita na ngayon doon. Tapos, that week, sinabihan siya na, next week, sa linggo, alis ako, balik ko Tuesday kasi importante sa trabaho namin, etc., etc. That day, bumili ng ticket si Ginger at lumipad na siya. Umalis na ng bansa, lumipat sa ibang bansa para makalayo lang dun sa dalawa. Dahil alam mo, ibang-iba na siya. Umiinom na siya ng pain, hindi siya umiinom dati. Tapos, wala nang lumalabas sa bibig niya kundi mura, na hindi siya nagmumura dati. Puro hatred ang nararamdaman niya. Ibang-iba na siya. Pati mga kaibigan niya sinasabi, you're different, you're enraged, umiinom ka na, hindi ka ganyan dati. Bakit umiinom? Sabi niya, to numb the pain. Because it's only when I'm drinking that I'm happy. Kasi alam niya na, simula nung nahuli niya nag-hotel si Wally tsaka yung Diga, iniwan na siya. Diba? Iniwan na siya eh. Wala na siya eh. Kumbaga, hindi niya alam anong silbi niya sa buhay ni Wally. Hindi niya talaga alam. So, umalis siya. So, ngayon, bago tayo mag-move on doon after that, puntahan ngayon natin si Maxine. Maxine, ikaw. Sa kwento ni Tema Arts at saka sa kwento ni Ginger, did you see yourself in that situation?
Yes, I saw myself and I completely understood what they did, why they did what they did.
Who? Ginger and Tema Arts.
Ginger and Tema Arts.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Kwento mo naman sa amin, ano naman yung mai-share mo? What can you share with us on your end? Because ikaw, kumbaga, you're the representative of the other, on the other side. Kung Tema Arts, partner niya na lalaki, And kay Ginger, sa partner niya na tomboy.
Okay. Una, ayoko i-justify yung mga act na gano'n na tama yon or to make it sound right. Pero dumaan na kasi ako sa mga situation na yon na nasa long-term relationships ako. Tapos out of nowhere, bigla ako maa-attract sa ibang tao like sa classmate or sa kapitbahay o sa kung sino man. Tapos kapag na-attract ako,
Sino man na nakapalda?
kapag na-attract ako, tapos nakita ko na may chance ako, parang
Nakikipag-friend.
nakikipag-friends na ako, hinaharot ko na, hindi ko muna iniisip yung partner ko na baka masaktan, na ang selfish ko, na nagsisinungaling ako, hindi na ako faithful, until tumagal na yung pag-entertain ko dun sa bagong tao, tsaka ako marirealize na mali nga, tapos hindi ko tuloy alam kung sasabihin ko o hindi. E di syempre, nakakakonsensya. Sinasabi ko after a few months kasi nasa isip ko, masasaktan pag nalaman eh, masasaktan pag nalaman eh. Though, sabihin man agad o hindi man sabihin agad, masakit pa rin naman. So, ganun yung nangyayari sa cycle ko.
So, ang question ko sa'yo, bakit mo ginagawa yon? Sige, yung pag-usapan natin yung sinasabi mong long-term relationship mo. Gaano
Okay.
ka long?
My longest relationship was 6 years.
Okay.
And I kept on cheating in
Okay.
that relationship. Well, she
So yung-
cheated first.
Huh?
She cheated first and I keep on cheating after she cheated after me.
So, ang tanong ko sa'yo, na-trigger ka ba? Tingin mo ba triggered ka nung pag-cheat niya? Or talagang it has no, parang walang relasyon yung pag-cheat niya sa pag-cheat mo?
Well, nung una, parang naisip ko, revenge. Kasi nag-cheat
Oo.
siya eh. Tapos lalaki. Tapos ako, ganito. So, di ko maintindihan yung nafe-feel ko noon. At saka bata pa ako noon, high school pa ako eh. So, nag-cheat ako after niya mag-cheat. Tapos parang na-feel ko noon na, ganito lang pala kadali. Sige, uulitin ko na lang palagi. So, ganun yung nangyari nung bata pa ako. Inuulit ko lang. Tapos yung babae naman, bigay ng chance. Kaya ako, sige, kahit mag-cheat ako na mag-cheat, pagbibigyan naman niya ako eh. Kaya sige, uulitin ko na lang. Ganun yung mindset ko dati.
You know what? I don't think you're the only one who has that mindset. I think most men and mga tomboy, ganun din. Kasi, pansinin mo pag pinagbigyan mo kasi, lumalaking ulo, na feeling kayang gawin ulit. Like you said, you confirmed that, di ba? Na, kasi, andali eh. Pagbibigyan ka naman, alam mo kasi patatawarin ka, di ba? Pero ang tanong ko sa'yo, tingin mo ba mahal mo yung 6 years?
Hindi ko din maintindihan eh. Mahal ko nung una, pero hindi ko alam kung mahal ko ba dahil sanay ako na nandyan siya o mahal ko ba dahil comfortable ako o hindi ko mahal. Hindi ko alam. Pero naghiwalay din naman kami nung 6 years.
Oo nga. Kasi sa akin, ewan ko, Tema Arts, correct me if I'm wrong. Para sa akin kasi, kung ang mahal mo yung tao, you will never cheat again.
Yeah.
Sabihin natin magkamali ka once. Sabihin natin once nagkamali ka. Kasi tao lang. Hindi mo ulitin.
Yeah.
Talagang
Totoo.
mahal mo.
Kasi,
Diba?
kasi if if you love the person, you'll respect that person. Kahit na alam mo may lumapit sa'yo, trying to get your attention, alam mo you have somebody at home, like, you know your limitation mo being friendly with that person. Yun yung kapag loyal ka and mahal mo yung tao. And it's, for me, I've learned, love is not always yung feeling mo eh. It's not always your emotion. It's also about deciding to love that person, to respect that person, to care for that person.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you love that person, you would do everything para hindi mo plus the thing, kung talaga mahal mo yung tao, hindi mo hindi mo maano na, how do I say it, like, hindi mo maiisip na makipag-usap or mag-entertain ng other people eh. Kasi that person is always in your mind.
Right.
Yun.
Yun na nga. And hindi lang yun. Ako din kasi I've experienced it na in love ako sa tao. Napansin ko, para ako may blinders. Wala ka ibang nakikita, siya lang eh. Hindi mo iisipin na no, hindi ka conscious na kailangan siya lang, kailangan ganun. It just comes out naturally pag mahal mo. Right? Yung natural lang, natural sa'yo. Hindi ka conscious gaya ng iniisip dito si Maxine na, oh, kasi, mabait or whatever. Hindi ganun eh, or iba. So, you're not conscious about yung behavior mo. Automatic na yun eh. Para sa akin I don't know if you, kasi ito si Maxine, ilang taon ka ba, Maxine?
24.
Oh, bata pa siya. Bata pa siya. So, konti pa yung pinagdaanan mo. And ito na yung pinagdadaanan mo. And you're a good-looking person. So, maraming attracted sa'yo, di ba?
Yeah.
Kaya, parang nag-enjoy to dahil bata pa siya, di ba?
Hindi, at saka,
okay, go ahead.
Sorry. I think also dahil nga sa sinabi ni Maxine, they've been together for 6 years, pero that person, wala rin naman siyang ginagawa pag nagkamali si Maxine. It's like, she keeps coming back and she keeps taking her back. Alam mo yun? So parang it's...
Parang wala siyang self-respect. Ito to the audience. Kasi if you have self-respect, I do not think you will keep on doing that. Kasi dapat, kaya nga ang title po natin ngayon ay Hoy Gising. Because you need to wake up. Pag ito nangyari sa inyo, you need to wake up. Ask yourself, why is this happening to me? Why is she doing this to me? Or why is he doing this to me? Diba? Ako ba? I think you will agree with me, Tema Arch, and other women out there, dadating ka sa point na, ako pang may kasalanan? You will question your worth. You will question, ano kaya nagawa ko? Diba?
I did.
Yeah. And
saan ka ba nagkulang?
Oo. Totoo. And then, itong si Ginger, she's beautiful, she's successful, she's smart, she's talented. Compared to Diga, Diga's nothing. Diga is like poop under her shoe. Pag kinumpare mo sila. But guess what? Because of what Wally and Diga was doing to her, she did not feel beautiful at that time. She felt ugly. She felt like such a failure. She forgot that she has a, master's degree.
Nakalimutan, she forgot her value.
Yeah. And then she became foul-mouthed, like I said. And she was never foul-mouthed before. She was, she's respectable. No, wala yun. Parang, tapos hindi na siya lumalabas. Hindi siya lumalabas sa apartment. Parang, she became so insecure that, like I said, she wanted to jump the balcony kasi nasa taas yung apartment nila. Na pagkausap ngayon ni Wally, alam niya kausap ni Wally, yung si Diga, sinabi niya sa akin, ilang beses niya nang gustong tumakbo doon, tumalon para makita ni Wally kung anong ginawa niya sa kanya. Ganun yung naramdaman niya. That's why she realized, this isn't me, this is crazy, I need to save myself. Because the first thing you people out there need to know is, you need to love yourself first, not your partner. Yourself first. And I know mga nanay natin, mga lola natin, ang kanta nila, stand by your man. No.
I was told that.
Back then.
Yes. Noon, karamihan ng lalaki respectable noong araw. Right? Hindi rampant ang nakikita nyo ngayon pambababae, kaliwat kanan, harap likod. And in the Philippines, sorry, but this is reality. Ang daming may kabit at mas mayabang pa yung kabit sa mga asawa. Diba? We all know that. Because the society sa Pilipinas tolerates it. Kasi nga, ang upbringing ng Pilipino, stand by your man. No. No.
Right.
You stand by yourself and your children. And you do not stay married because of your children. This is only my opinion, okay? You don't have to agree with me.
It's true.
But for me, you do not stay married because of your children. You stay married because you love each other, not just one person. It's a two-way street supposed to be, not one. Okay? So kung yung two-way street mo ay naging one-way, tigil ka na. Park. Tapusin na yon. Right? Yun yung sa akin. Kaya hindi dapat natin tinotolerate yung behavior na ganon because once you tolerate it, you encourage it. 'Di ba? Ikaw, Maxine, give us your 2 cents. Anong tingin mo sa sinabi ko? Anong opinion mo on that point?
I mean, I think you're right. Before loving somebody else, you should learn to love yourself, know your worth, and you should not be a fool into loving someone. I agree with everything that you said.
Yeah, kasi sino pang magmamahal sa'yo kung hindi mo mamahalin sarili mo? 'Di ba? Tandaan
Yep.
niyo
How
na,
can you be capable of loving someone else if you don't even know how to love yourself?
yes. And yun sinasabi ko sa mga babae na, ayun, don't beg for love. Etong si Dega, pinagsabihan niya pa si Ginger. Ang kapal pa ni Dega, ha. Lumayo na si Ginger? Tinext niya pa. Tinotont niya pa. Tapos sinabihan niya pa si Ginger na, ang grabe ka nga umiyak eh. Kay ano daw, kay Wally. Sinabi ni Ginger, minahal ko eh. Oh yeah, for a few hours. Yung ganon. Tapos sabi ni Ginger, ikaw ba, kung sa'yo gawin yung ginawa niyo sa akin, hindi ka masasaktan? Hindi ka magagalit? Hindi. So sabi ni Ginger, kasi ako, nasaktan kasi I'm not a cold-hearted bitch. And Diga is. Kasi nga gusto lang naman niya pera ni Wally, di ba? Hindi naman wala kasing nararamdaman talaga. Kaya okay lang. Pero kung tunay na may nararamdaman ka sa tao, ikaw ba, Tema Arts, and ikaw, Maxine, kahit tomboy ka, hindi ka on our side, ikaw ba, kung mahal mo yung tao, you will share your girlfriend with someone else?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to share my girlfriend with someone else.
Exactly.
That's why we're girlfriends, because we're committed to each other.
Exactly. Ngayon, ang sabi pa ni Tema Arts, Tema Arts tuloy. Sabi kasi ni Ginger sa kanya, nung kami pa ni Wally, niloloko niyo ako, 'di ba? Parang ganoon. So sabi pala ni kwento lang, sabi ni Diga, kay Ginger, kung talagang mahal ka ni Wally, bakit nung ako lagi niyang kausap, araw-araw kausap niya ako sa telepono. So sabi, ang balik sa ni Ginger, o di ba ganyan ginagawa niya sa'yo ngayon? Imalis na ako, di ba? Iniwan ko siya. Andyan siya sa'yo ngayon. O, di ba araw-araw, gabi-gabi, tinatawagan niya ako. O di ginawa niya rin sa'yo yung ginawa niya sa akin. Gano'n kasimple yun eh. Kasi, hindi mo maintindihan ano ba talaga, di ba? So, ang atas pinagbintangan siya na nagbibeg nga daw tong si Ginger. Samantalang si Ginger, iniwan si Wally. Siya, nung si Wally sumama kay Ginger, nagmakaawa siya kay Wally makipagkita sa kanya. Love, please, love. Makipagkita sa loved ones lang, please, love. Nakalimutan niya yun? Nakalimutan. Alam mo, kung nanonood si Diga ngayon, tandaan mo yung ginawa mo, ikaw ang nagmakaawa kay Wally, balikan ka. Naglambitin ka sa paa niya, ayaw mo kumawala. Nakilibin na siya kay Ginger, kakapit pa rin sa kanya, ayaw mo, ikaw ang nag-beg. Yun ang tandaan mo kasi kilala ko to si Ginger, kaibigan ko to eh. So, alam ko yung sitwasyon nila. And siya talaga ang nag-beg, hindi si Ginger. Si Ginger, miniwan na sila. Tapos nanggugulo pa rin yung babae. Yeah. Tawag na tawag si Wally kasi sa kay Ginger. Hanggang ngayon, tumatawag pa rin siya. Hindi na siya sinasagot ni Ginger. Text pa rin siya ng text. Araw-araw talaga. At yung Dega, ayun nga, ang tanong ko sa inyo, ang sagot ni Dega, okay lang sa akin. Alam ko naman nakikipag-usap siya, diba? Alam ko naman eh. Kayo ba? Papayagan nyo? Kung mahal nyo?
No.
So akala ni Wally, mahal siya ni Diga. Hindi niya matanggap, nag-gold Diga lang.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Diba?
Yeah, right.
But you know what? So ako, ito lang. Wala yung aking timer. Ang sa akin lang, ang tanong ko sa inyo, ikaw, doon tayo kay Maxine. Kasi nag-explain na tayong dalawa, si Ginger, si Tema Arts. Sa'yo, Maxine, sa ginagawa mo doon sabi mo, gano'n ang ginagawa mo, nag-cheat ka, di ba?
Yes. I cheated my whole life.
Yeah. Bakit, tingin mo, bakit mo ginawa? Hindi mo alam. Hanggang ngayon, hindi mo alam bakit.
Okay. Listen. I don't know if this is somehow related, but I grew up with womanizers. That doesn't make the action reasonable, but I grew up with womanizers. So I thought it was normal. I thought it was right, but I keep on doing it still. But somehow I'm learning. I don't want to hurt other people anymore. I
Yun na nga
mean,
eh. And yeah, because um so ngayon, kapag umiiyak yung partner mo, yung girlfriend mo sa'yo, ano nararamdaman mo?
I feel I feel very bad. Sobrang guilty, sobrang konsensya, pero at the same time, naulit
Ma'am, pakibukas yung pinto. Naghang. Okay, hold on. We'll get there. Naghang lang po tayo. We have having technical difficulties with the internet. Unfortunately, we'll wait for them to come back. In the meantime, let me promote Gatsby.
Ayan na.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
We
Wait,
got
hold on. I think we're not recording it. Let me see.
It's recording.
Recording. Okay. So, where we left off, yung kay Maxine.
yeah. So
Anong nararamdaman mo pag umiiyak? Nagigilty ka?
Nagigilty ako, nakokonsensya, pero at the same time, hindi ko din naman alam gagawin ko if I should just leave the girl or bumawi sa kanya or panindigan na ba yung bagong girl. I mean, it takes time for me. Ayun nga yung nagiging problema dun eh. Nang iistorbo ako ng nananahimik na tao na hindi pa ready sa relationship. Tapos kapag ready na sa relationship, ako naman yung hindi ready, aalis na ako.
So, nakaka-relate ka kay Wally?
Nakaka-relate ako kay Wally kasi base sa kwento na shinare mo about kay Wally, Giga, and Ginger, ayan na nga, ito na si Wally, marami siyang babae. Tapos every time na magigising na yung mga niloloko niya, hahabulin niya bigla. Parang gusto niya meron pa rin siyang ownership or kung ano man, ayaw, selfish. Gusto niya siya lang yung meron. Gusto niya, binibigyan siya ng 100%, tapos siya binibigyan lang niya, 40 sa'yo, 20 sa'yo, 30 sa'yo. Ganon. Sobrang selfish nga. At some point, yeah, alam ko ganon ako. Naging ganon at least.
Alam mo, at least bata ka pa. Kasi si Wally matanda na yun. 56 na yun eh.
Oh,
Sana hindi
okay.
ka umabot sa ganun. Kasi at that point in your life, dapat alam mo na ginagawa mo sa buhay mo, di ba?
tama.
Ayun. Oo,
I mean,
diba?
ayun na nga, nakita ko rin sa mga babae na mga babaeng nasakta na hindi lang simpleng ano eh, parang okay, broken hearted ako ng 2 months. Hindi simpleng ganon. Every time na mag-cheat ako sa tao or nakapag-cheat ako sa tao, nakikita ko kung gaano sila nasisira. Like, pumapayat ng sobra, nagiging haggard, bumabagsak sa school. Talagang nakakasira ng pagkatao na hindi lang yung trust, hindi lang yung sinasabi mo nga kanina na yung worth, may kulang ba ako, may pangit ba sa akin, ano meron sa kanya na wala ako. Parang sobrang nakaka-damage ng pagkatao, hindi lang ng puso.
Yeah. Oo, totoo yun. Sana ma-realize ng mga lalaki yan. Okay, ayoko namang isipin nyo na dinidiid ko yung mga lalaki. Siyempre pati tomboy kasama doon. Pero babae rin. Kasi may mga babae rin, although hindi lahat, may mga babaeng ganito rin ang ginagawa nila, di ba? So, actually, yung si Diga nga, may kalibinin, nakatira yun sa ex-boyfriend niya, di ba? Bakit? So, hindi mo maintindihan kung tong si Diga, nasa side nyo, na nanloloko rin. Oh, well, alam natin na hindi niya mahal si Wally. And anyone can see that, right? Na kailangan lang niya yung pera na yung mga regalong binibigay sa kanya ni Wally. Yun lang naman habol niya doon eh, 'di ba? Yun ang ayaw niyang mawala kasi hindi naman niya mahal eh. So kahit kunyari nung dumating si Ginger sa buhay ni Wally, bigla siyang naging alert. Kunyari mabait na siya kay Wally, kailangan kasi mawawala nga yung mga regalo ni Wally sa kanya. At sabi ni Ginger kay Wally, magsama kayo ni Diga kasi you cannot give me what I want. No, sabi niya pala, you can give her what she needs or what she wants. And what she wants is money. And that you can give her. And you can give me what I want. and what I need, which is love. Because you don't know how to love. Ngayon, tanong ko, tingin mo ba marunong ka magmahal? Ikaw, Tema Art,
Ako?
kayong dalawa, do you know what love is? Do you know how to love? Do you even know what the meaning of the word is?
Should I answer first?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, after my separation from my ex, I think I finally learned what love is.
And what is it?
I think it's accepting the person who they really are. You can't change them. You have to accept them. And there's also a book that there's also a book where I read yung 5 languages of love. Have you heard of it? Of that book? There's 5 languages of love. And from there, I realized na every person has different language of love. So parang you have to understand that. But for me, the thing that I've learned the most is when you enter a relationship, you really have to accept the person and you can't change the person.
Let me stop you there though. Linawin lang natin sa audience natin because I don't want them to get confused. Sabi niya, accept daw eh. Di accept ko na niloloko ko. No.
Oh no, it's
You
not.
accept their personality, the person itself, not what they're doing to you. Okay?
Yes.
So, kahit gaano kasama, yung hindi ko sinabing kahit gaano kasama ng ginagawa, itanggapin nyo. No. There's always a limit. Kaya nga ito, Hoy Gising, ang title natin because you need to wake up at the certain time na dapat magising ka na. Right? Kung kailangan i-shake ka, shake yourself because hindi po natin, porke tinanggap mo yung tao, the way he is or the way she is, doesn't mean you let him disrespect you and treat you like trash.
Right.
Hindi yun ang gusto namin sabihin. Okay? I'm sure hindi yun ang gusto sabihin ni Tema Arts. Okay, go ahead, Tema Arts.
So the thing is like I've learned na when you met someone, kung ano sila, you have to accept them the way is. Kunwari, hindi naman, like nasa character lang nila. Not meaning na sinasaktan ka nila, accept mo yun. It's not like that. Kunwari, meron silang way of how to deal with things. Hindi yung babaguhin mo. For me, it's like before you enter a relationship, get to know the person first. Meaning na siguro kung nakita mo na, umiinom siya, nag-smoke siya, nag-gamble siya and stuff like that. Kung nalaman mo na yon beforehand na bago ka umenter ng relationship, you have to know kung matatanggap mo yon or hindi. Hindi yung tipong, oh no, I can change him. It's not like that. So yun yung what I meant is say, when you love someone, you have to accept them for who they are. Pero not na i-change nyo sila after nung naging kayo na. Kasi parang
not fair.
Yun yung ginawa ko na mahal ko naman tong tao. So ma-accept ko siya. Pero I know I will change that person, which is not right. Yeah. So that's what I meant when I said na accept them for who they are. Pero accept mo kung talagang ma-accept mo yung pangit nilang characters or personality or habit.
Yeah. Ako naman, Maxine, what is love?
I think by this time, sa dami ko nang napasukang relationship, alam ko na ngayon finally. Kasi ang reason, kaya papalit-palit ako ng girlfriend, kaya nandito ako sa isang taon to, tapos lilipat ako sa iba. Kasi pag nawawala yung kilig, yung attraction, yung saya, naghahanap na ako ng iba para ma-feel ko ulit yun. Pero ngayon ko lang na-realize na nasa cycle pala ng relationship na okay, nakakakilig sa una, masaya kasama yung tao kapag masaya siya, pag wala siyang problema. Pero after ilang months pala, normally nag-fade pala talaga yon. Ngayon, hindi ko lang nag-fade pala yon. Tapos yung pagmamahal pala, hindi lang about dun sa butterflies and fun times. Parang magiging choice din siya eh. Kung itong nakilala mong tao, minahal mo, like, did you really love the person that you found? Kahit tapos na yung mga butterflies, yung mga kilig-kilig. parang love is a choice na din. Gusto mo ba magstay? Gusto mo ba tong taong nakita mo, minahal mo ba siya bilang siya, hindi lang during madaling panahon? Parang para sa akin, ngayon ko lang natutunan na ganun yung pagmamahal. Na buong buhay ko, skip ako ng skip ng relationship kasi, di ko na siya mahal kasi hindi na nakakakilig eh. Di ko na siya mahal kasi ang pangit pag moody siya eh. Parang ganun yung pala, pagmamahal, white and black. 'Di ba? Parang kung gusto mo talaga magstay, kung talagang mahal mo siya, mag-a-adjust kayo.
Yeah, well, hindi lang yon. Ikaw kasi bata ka pa. I think ang nangyari naman sa'yo is you haven't fallen in love yet. Right? Bata ka pa kasi puro ano lang. You're still playing. You know, you're just playing at this point. Kasi kahit alam mo kung talagang mararamdaman mong mahal mo yung tao because hindi mawawala yung butterfly sa'yo. It may not be as strong as before, but there's a certain butterfly inside of you every time you still see. Yun yung pagmamahal para sa akin. Hindi mawawala.
Butterfly.
No, di ba? Ewan ko. I don't know with them arts, pero ako, yung nung nagmahal ako, hindi nawala yon. Kahit gaano katagal, hindi nawala yon. Talagang, after a year, kinikilig pa rin ako pagtatawag siya, yung, oh God, yung gano'n. Tapos, after 2 years na naghiwalay na kami lahat, 'di ba? Kasi mahal mo talaga. Nung tumawag sa akin, oh my God, naalala niya ako. Yung hindi nawala. So, alam mo 'yon, so parang para sa akin, yung mahal ko talaga, siguro kasi tinreat ako na maayos, hindi ako sinaktan, hindi ako sa dinami ng naging relationships ko, itong tao na to yung nasasabi ko na minahal ako, na kahit wala na kami, malayo siya sa akin, alam ko mahal niya ako kasi never niya ako niloko, never siya nag-cheat, naging matinutong taong to sa akin. Ito yung matagal na to, hindi to current or most recent, hindi. Medyo matagal-tagal na. Pero yun yung point ko, parang alam mong mahal mo yung tao kasi yung sinasabi mo, yung butterfly, pag nawala, gano'n. Tapos it's a choice na kailangan, hindi mo titiisin, Maxine. Pag na in love ka sa tao, hindi na choice talaga na, kasi yung iba, alam ko yung sinasabi mo eh. Minsan, and again, some people will not agree with me na it's a choice na to stay with this person kasi gano'n. Hindi ka mag-agree sa akin, pero sa akin kasi, it's not a conscious choice, ang point ko. Okay? Kasi yung kwento mo parang conscious choice eh. It's not a conscious choice. Choice mo kasi mahal mo. Hindi mo sasabihin, kung mahal mo yung tao, hindi mo sasabihin na, magsistay ako dito kasi kahit hindi ko na nagugustuhan na kasi matagal na kami. Hindi ganong choice yung sinasabi ko Yung totoo na choice, pero it's an unconscious choice on your part na you stay because it feels like home, right? This is it.
Yeah, I know.
And you just fit together. And sometimes it's so hard to find someone na it's a good fit. So people out there, the moment you find that person who's a good fit with you, don't screw it up. And alam niyo yung kanta na, and ito din para sa iyo, Maxine. Yung kantang Like I'm Gonna Lose You.
Yes.
I love that song because it's true. Love them as if you're gonna lose them. Kasi, and that, like, it's cliche na sasabihin na, you don't know kung bukas patay na yung tao, di ba? Right? I'm not talking about separation lang, but, hindi mo alam kailan mawawala yung tao sa buhay mo. And it doesn't only apply with relationships. It applies with your parents, your siblings, your relatives, di ba na, love them like you're not gonna lose them. Di ba? Don't take, in short, do not take the people you love for granted. Don't. Because you don't know when they're gonna go, when they're gonna leave, when they're gonna be gone. And sa mga relationships naman, yung mga girlfriend nyo, boyfriend nyo, or kaon nyo na mahal nyo, hindi porke mabait sa inyo, iti-take mo sila for granted and take advantage of it. The more na mabait sila, the more you give them more respect. the more you love them dapat. Ngayon, kung hindi nyo kayang gawin yon, there's something wrong with you or you really don't love them. You just accept the fact na hindi nyo mahal. Huwag na ipilit. Right? Kung di mo kaya respetuhan isang tao, iwanan mo na lang. Ganun
Right.
yun. Diba? And
Kasi makaka-move on din naman yung tao eh.
exactly. Yun din, Maxine, and you have to realize that too. Kasi parang sa kwento mo, parang, di ba, balik-balik ka. Ganun-ganun ka sa relationship mo. You cannot do that. Don't think that porke iniwan mo, hindi na makaka-move on yan. Makaka-move
Ayun
on
na nga.
ng tao, nakaka-move on.
Ito nga, gusto ko din sabihin na share ko yung experience ko, kung ano yung nararamdaman ko. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na tama pa rin mag-cheat, tama pa rin to go after someone, kahit meron kang someone na minamahal ka lang naman. I mean, sa mga, kung meron bang nanonood dyan na nag-cheat o nakapag-cheat, meron pa namang solusyon. Balak mag-cheat. Meron pa namang solusyon. Ilugar na lang sa tama para hindi na makasakit. Kasi kapag nakakasakit ka ng tao, nadadamage mo din yung sarili mo eh.
It's true.
Ayun.
Be sure na kahit na nag-cheat ka, sorry, what you did, I'm pretty sure hindi intentional at saka I know mabuti kang tao. Hindi mo meant saktan yung tao.
I mean,
Pero,
yun na nga, naging selfish nga lang na going after what I want. Pero at the end of the day, may nagmamahal lang naman sa akin, bakit ganun pa yung ibabalik? So, sa mga nanonood nga dyan, huwag na po tayong manakit.
oo nga, hindi. Tsaka, ito naman sa akin. Yun naman sa mga tao na medyo recently, nagbago rin yung idea ko of yung relationships din. Kasi dati, laking Pilipinas, may asawa ka na. Diba? Siyempre, hindi ka pwede mag-cheat. Ngayon, tao lang tayo. Alam ko yon. Halimbawa, may asawa ka na. Tapos wala na talaga. Nangyayari yun wala na talaga. Nag-aaway kayo. For whatever reason, hindi na talaga dapat ituloy yung relationship nyo. Okay? Hindi nyo na mahal isa't isa or hindi mo na mahal yung tao, asawa mo, or partner mo. At may nakita ka iba na in love ka doon. Ito lang sa akin Just have the balls to tell your wife or your partner na ayaw mo na. Okay? Let them go and move on. Let them move on. Let them find their own happiness. Kung ikaw minahan na iba, why hold on to your wife or your husband or your partner? Alam mo namang hindi mo na nga mahal. Dapat tanggapin nyo and admit nyo na doon sa tao na hindi mo na mahal yung tao. Right? Then move on. Let them be happy kasi like we said, they can move on. Hindi lang ikaw ang tao sa mundo, huwag ka masyadong mayabang. Alam mo yon, hindi lang ikaw ang may itsura, hindi lang ikaw ang pwedeng ma-inlove yung tao. Yun yung point ko, di ba? So as long as you have the balls to tell your partner that it's over, do it. Don't lead them on into thinking na mahal mo pa sila because that's not fair. You're holding them back from finding their own happiness when you found yours already, 'di ba? That's not right. So,
Nga.
'di ba?
I mean, you're giving them false hope imbes na nagsisimula na sila sa paghihil tapos magkaroon ng masaya at peaceful na buhay. Kaya wag na lamang storbo ng tao kung wala namang mabuting intensyon.
Exactly. Ngayon, kung talagang mahal yun naman, halimbawa, naghiwalay kayo, niloko ka, niloko mo yung tao, pero na-realize mo siya talaga mahal mo at gusto mo talagang bumalik yung tao sa'yo, then do everything in your power to do that. Ang tanggalin mo na lahat ng baggage mo at mga babae sa buhay mo. At if it takes forever to make her see that, then do it. Kung talagang mahal mo. Kaya kung hindi naman, then iwan mo na lang. Pabayaan mo na yung tao to find her own happiness. Kasi,
let them free.
Set them free. Huwag yun ang gulihin. Kasi, kung di mo naman mahal, di ba? Ito lang, payo ko, bilang kaibigan ni Ginger, si Wally. Wally, kung mahal mo si Ginger, you know what to do. Tanggalin mo si Diga sa buhay mo, totally. Kung hindi mo kaya, stay with Diga. Nag-move on na si Ginger, di ba? Umalis na. Actually, hindi pa siya nag-move on talaga dahil nanggugulo ka pa Kasi nga, di
May
ba,
payo
parang,
kay Ginger.
ha?
May payo kay Ginger.
Oh, payo ni, okay, anong payo mo kay Ginger?
Ginger, move on.
Yeah.
You're beautiful and smart. You know, there's other people that's right for you. Just move
Yeah,
on.
Ginger. Yeah, move on, Ginger. Kasi talagang I think itong si Wally talagang hindi niya kaya eh. And, malapit na matapos ang ating show, but I think, I don't know if it's narcissistic of Wally or pathological liar. I do not know how to describe Wally kasi hindi ko rin maintindihan ng attitude niya kung bakit nagsisinungaling siya sa dalawang tao or isa sa kanila. I don't know, right? Kasi I don't know, pero yun lang, yung mga sinungaling sa inyo. Think things through. Bakit kayo nagsisinungaling sa partner niyo? Kung ayaw niyo na, siguro it's time for you to move on, right? Kaya yung mga babae dyan, pati mga lalaki na naloloko, eto wake up call nyo, hoy! Gising na! It's time to move on. Start a new chapter in your life. Tanggalin ang toxic sa bahay ninyo, sa buhay ninyo. And doon naman sa mga nangloloko, hoy, gising din. Hindi ikaw ang pinakagwapo sa mundo para isipin mo na hindi makaka-move on yung iniwan mo. Ay, si Maxine pa yun. Alam mo yon, yung hindi lang yon. Tsaka yung mga nanloloko dyan, gumising na rin kayo. Life is short. 'Di ba? Hindi ko alam kung anong nasa utak nyo, bakit kailangan yung manakit. I call it unnecessary pain you're inflicting on these people na niloloko nyo. Kasi pwede namang hindi nyo sila lokohin eh. Pwede nyo namang sabihin yung totoo na hindi nyo sila mahal at itong mahal mo. 'Di ba? Ngayon, if you cannot make a choice, then you have a problem. Seek professional help instead of, going out in the world and, wreaking havoc and just hurting people. It's not right. In the pandemic, ngayong pandemic, we need compassion from each other. We need more respect for each other. We need to unite. Hindi tayo pwede magsakitan because we are already at war with COVID. Diba? Hirap na nga ang tao ngayon tapos sasaktan nyo pa yung mga taong nagmahal sa inyo. Diba? Huwag na kayong dumagdag sa pandemic. Ikaw, pandemic ka na eh. Diba? Pandemic kayo.
Hoy!
Diga. Hindi, si Diga. Diga, pandemic ka na eh. Para kang COVID. Tantanan mo na si Ginger. Kasi umilis na eh. Yung si Wally ang kulitin mo dahil si Wally nangungulit kay Ginger. Hindi naman na kumikibo si Ginger. Hinahabol niya si Ginger. Diba? So, yung mga ganong klaseng tao po, iwasan nyo na. And yung mga taong ganon, yung mga taong katulad ni Wally at ni Ginger, kung nakaka-relate kayo sa kanila, pag-isipan niyo actions niyo. Maawa kay Ginger, walang ginagawa yung tao sa inyo. Pabayaan mo maging masaya. Kung mahal mo, habulin mo to death. Pero kung ayaw mo, tigilan mo na, diba? Ganun lang yon. Anyway, so we are at the end of our Let's Talk It Out. And we've talked it out. So ngayon, the next episode po natin, I'm hoping makahanap po tayo ng yung kabit naman.
Can I play the kabet?
Hindi, yung real life other woman. I wanna know what goes on in their head. Bakit sila naging other woman, di ba? Ako, ito lang I'm not judging. For all
Tanungin ko yung mga naging kabit ko.
O sige, tawagan mo ha, tingnan mo kung pwede. Kasi, yung iba nagiging kabit for a reason. And if the reason is love, hindi mo masisi. Parang, ang hirap may mga tanga talagang babae na hindi nila maiwan kahit ano. Kumabit sa lalaki may asawa kasi mahal talaga nila. At ito namang lalaki ito, niloloko na, iiwanan ko yung asawa ko, iiwanan ko, tapos sila hintay na hintay, di ba? I cannot blame them, but they need to watch my show pag nakuha ko na yung mga audience, yung mga guests na ganun. Because we need to open their eyes then na hindi nila iiwan asawa nila. Kung sinabi nila sa'yo iiwanan nila, at isang taon na hindi pa iniiwan, hoy, gising! Diba? Hindi na
iniiwanan.
So,
pag sinabi, pag isang taon na sinasabi na iiwanan, hindi yun iiwanan. Kung iiwanan talaga, iiwanan agad yun na isang bagsak.
Totoo.
Kasi umabot ako sa
teka muna, ibang topic na yan. Next episode yan.
Oh, sige, okay, sorry. Kailangan nyo na po magbayad ng subscription.
So, sana naman meron pong manood dito sa aming first episode ng Let's Talk It Out because here, like I said, we will be talking about everything under the sun. Anything you want to discuss, just email me at METROD. Wag na nga yun. Maria, mas mabilis to. Maria at merlaw.ca. That's Maria at merlaw.ca. Email niyo sa akin anong gusto yung topic, pag-uusapan natin yan. Meron kayong gustong i-guess dito, i-guess natin. So, like I said, we will be talking anything under the sun, anything you want to discuss, even the things that other radio stations or podcasts won't discuss, we will discuss. Okay? Pag-usapan natin.
Okay.
So, let's talk it out. So I would like to thank my guests for tonight, Maxine and Tema Arts. Thank you for being my first guest in my very first podcast. Let's talk it out. And to Ginger out there, stay strong. Like Tema Arts said, you are a beautiful woman. You are a very good person. And do not doubt that you will find someone who will respect you and love you. Ngayon kung si Wally nakikinig, Wally, umayos ka. Tanggapin mo na lang na Ginger is the one that got away because you cheated on her and you continue to hurt her kasi hindi mo maiwan si Diga. Alam mo si
How about her advice for Maxine?
Well, Maxine, ako naman, ang advice ko naman sa'yo, Maxine, you have to love yourself first. But not too much to the point na feeling mo, pag iniwan mo, kawawa sila. Hindi. Sometimes, pag iniwan mo sila, yun ang pinakamagandang ginawa mo sa buhay nila, dahil hindi mo na sila niloloko. You have to think about it that way. Okay?
Let them go. Let them be free.
Yes. Let them go. Let them find their own happiness. They were not happy with you. You know that kasi niloloko mo sila. So what makes you think na pag binalikan mo sila, hindi mo na sila lolokohin? Hindi mangyayari.
Ang dami ko namang girlfriend. Baka sila ka naman.
Siyempre, generalize ko. We're not pinpointing one person, di ba? We're generalizing kaya sila. So, yun yung point ko. Yun ang payo ko sa'yo. Do not think that yung niloko mo noon, na ilang beses mo niloko, minahal mo, hindi. Hindi talaga. Bata ka pa, you will find that person na magpapatibok ng iyong puso. Hindi siya, hindi yung mga niloko mo. Okay?
Okay.
Like I said, once mo lokohin, okay lang eh. Tapos magbago ka na. Pero kung once, twice, hindi na pagmamahal yun. Panloloko na yun talaga. Okay? Okay, so, meron ba kayo babatiin quickly?
I want to, I don't know. Balay.
Applesauce? Hindi mo babatiin sa applesauce?
Hello, applesauce. I love you, girl.
Anyone
And
else?
Michelle and Kate. And who else? Watermelon.
What about you, Maxine? Anyone?
Binabati ko po si Tita Apple, Tito Brian, at ang aking daddy sa Philippines. Dad, nandito na po ako sa Wawawi.
Sira. Okay, and ako naman, binabati ko, syempre, I want to say hello to my children, Ariana and Jed. I miss you so much. And of course, all my friends out there, I hope you support my new podcast. This is my first episode. Kung meron kayong topics that you want me to discuss, you want to be a guest in my show, just let me know. Maria@merlaw.ca. And by the way, thank you to my son, Jed. He was the one who told me to start my own podcast. And I think, tama. And ito, alam mo, naisip ko, itong mga issue na, ito yung mga pinag-usapan natin ngayon, di ba? Anything under the sun. At one point, ayoko matawa kayo kasi hindi to katawa-tawa, pero malamang may ibang matatawa dyan. At one point in my podcast, in one of the episodes, I want to discuss some verses in the Bible. Hindi lang, alam mo yun, hindi ako religious masyado, pero I think there's a place there has to be a place in my podcast for that. Kasi, we will tie it up with real, yung everyday life. Parang homily ba? Yung ganon. Kasi para sa akin, that's where we get good advice from me. Diba? And then, incorporate mo lang siya i-incorporate natin siya sa real life. Ganon. So, you expect that from my podcast. So, kung meron kayong verse sa Bible that you want to discuss na hindi kayo parang, ano ba to? Ano ba sinasabi nito? Ganon. We can discuss that. Diba? And we will discuss it in a very light way like we did today. yung hindi pang parang pare or mother yung didiscuss sa inyo. We lay people will discuss something that, sometimes we don't understand, or something that we want to relate to our, fellow Catholics or Christians, na itong verse na to, magandang pag depressed ka, we draw from this. Yung gano'n lang. Kasi I know in the pandemic, there's a lot of people who are getting depressed, who are very lonely, who feel alone. And I'm just hoping that this podcast will, pag nakinig sila, when you listen to this podcast, you will be able to relate with it. You'll be able to get some lessons from it, learn from it, be inspired by it, and realize your worth from it. Yung mga ganon. I want people to draw something positive from the podcast. So that's why I want to discuss real life issues and correlate, sometimes hindi lagi, maybe at one point nga correlate, verses in the Bible, or mga ganon, para lang maintindihan, so that we will understand. Sometimes kasi we don't know what to do, and where do we go from there? We sometimes go to the Bible and ano ba? Ako siya ganon eh. Minsan, what do I do? Okay, ano yung gaganunin ko yung Bible, pag ano yung bumaka, babasahin ko. It's like a message from God. For me, ganon. So, yun lang yung sa akin. So, at one point, we will do that. Some of you will not like it, then don't watch. Simple, diba? So, yun gusto manood, manood. It's a free world. So, anyway, okay, we run out of time kasi syempre first episode natin medyo lalampas tayo ng konti kasi nga kumbaga sa opening night, 'di ba? Medyo opening night, medyo meron tayong dagdag, 'di ba? Mga ganun, palabot ganun. But anyway, so thank you again, Maxine. Thank you, Tema Arts, for gracing my very first podcast. Let's talk it out. This episode tonight is called Hoy Gising. In English, Wakey Wakey.
Gising!
O, isa pa nga. Sabay-sabay tayo. Hoy!
Hoy!
Gising! Okay. Bye, guys. See you in our next episode.
Bye. Thanks for
Again.
inviting us.
Huwag muna kayo mag-stop, dahil meron pa tayong recording. Anyway, so again, goodbye. This is your host for today, Elle Rodriguez. Please join us in our next episode here in Let's Talk It Out. Ba't nawala si Maxine?